Let's talk about what nobody wants to talk about. Who here has ever failed? Who's here has failed miserably at something you wanted to achieve? Say I. Who's done this more than once? Say I. When you failed, why did you fail? Why are you suddenly tongue-tied? Come on, tell you what. What did you used to say the reason you failed when you were bullshitting yourself? You know I know better, so you're not telling me the truth. What did you used to say? I failed because? Okay, good. I didn't have enough money. What else? Didn't have the right technology. Good, sir. Why'd you fail? I had the wrong people. They say I had the wrong leader. Isn't that interesting? It was the economy. Bad economy. Not enough time. Didn't have enough time. Now, I asked this question for the first time about 7 years ago. I was at this place called TED. Anybody watching those TED videos? And TED didn't have a website or anything at that stage. It was a very small program. It was done for about 800 people in Silicon Valley, most of them billionaire investors, the founders of Yahoo, the founders of Apple, the founders of a whole series of companies. And I was brought in, and they say you got 18 minutes, which my shortest seminar is 4 fucking days. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then before they introduced me, the guy who was introducing me wasn't the guy who invited me, and he was an English guy. We're good friends today. But back then, he didn't know who I was. He thought I was a motivator. So he got up and he said, first thing he said to me before I went out there, goes, nice to meet you. Don't have people do that jumping shit I heard you do. So he wants me to take these dead people and leave them dead in this dark room sitting. And I watched before I got up to speak, and there was a woman who was a genius, and she was teaching string theory, which is one of the most complex things on earth. And they gave her 18 minutes, and people were shuffling their feet. And at the end, they didn't even clap for her. They were assholes. They all thought their shit didn't stink. These are all the achievers of the world. So I walk out there, and the introduction he gives me is Tony Robbins is like a motivator, and he's helped a lot of sports people, so maybe you can, create some energy here. He had a very publicized divorce a few years ago. I couldn't fucking believe it. He really did say that. If you watch the TED video, he cut that out because he's embarrassed. So I got up afterwards and I said, God, it's a privilege to be here. I said, I didn't know that my divorce is very publicized, but my ex-wife is very happy. She has tens of millions of dollars, but I didn't come about that. I came to serve you. And then I was trying to figure out how to engage this room, so I asked them a question I just asked you. I said, who here has ever failed? And no one raised their hand in the whole fucking room. So I paused and I said, I know you're out there. I can hear your hearts beating. Who here has ever failed? And I demanded an answer, and then a few people raised their hand. I said, who here has ever failed? And now they started to comply. So I said, great. When you failed, why did you fail? And they said all the things you said. Didn't have enough time, didn't have the right technology, didn't have the money, didn't have the contacts, had the wrong people. The people said we had the wrong leader, right? And then this voice in the darkness, the whole room was pitch black, says, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices. And I look down, and it's Vice President Al Gore, who you probably don't know much about American politics, but he and Bush Jr., they tied, basically, and it had to go to our Supreme Court to decide who's going to be it, and he lost. And when he said that, we were in Northern California, which is all Democrats, would have been supporters of his. They all stood up and gave him a standing ovation when he said this. And when they stopped the standing ovation, I said, that's one way to try to explain why you didn't become president of the United States. But I wouldn't say it's an accurate one. And there was this pause, like, what the fuck is he about to say? And I said, because let's just do this logically. Everything you people have told me, I didn't have the technology, I didn't have the right contacts, I didn't have the time, I didn't have money. Everything you've told me, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices, those are resources. And so you're telling me I failed because I didn't have the resources. And I'm here to tell you what you already know. Resources are never the problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness is why you failed. Because the ultimate resources are emotional states. If you're creative enough, can you find the answer? Yes or no? If you're determined enough, can you find the breakthrough? Yes or no? If you're passionate, loving enough, can you get someone to help you? Yes or no? If there's no way that you're committed, can you find the money even if you don't have it? Yes or no? So I said creativity, decisiveness, passion, honesty, sincerity, love. These are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. And I said, so you told me all the resources you're missing and you hypnotize yourself into believing that you don't have what you want because you don't have the resources, when the most successful people in history had no resources, but they were incredibly resourceful, so they got the resources. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. That's bullshit. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take the fucking island, burn your fucking boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.